I'm Dolly Duffy, the Executive Director of your Notre Dame Alumni Association, and I have the incredible privilege of introducing our next honoree, the Harvey G. Foster Award. Does anyone know who Harvey G. Foster was? No. Okay, I'm going to tell you. This award is named for the former Fighting Irish offensive guard and an early president of the Notre Dame Alumni Association. It's presented annually to an alumnus or alumna of Notre Dame who has been an athlete or involved in athletic endeavors and who has distinguished themselves in civic or university endeavors. It's a long description, and it's absolutely perfect for the incredible woman that we're going to give the award to tonight. Kristin Komyatte Sheehan, a member of the class of 1990, who for nearly 2 decades, and that's hard to imagine when she walks up here, that she could have done anything for that long, has worked to make youth sports available for all children. As a program director for Play Like a Champion Today educational series, Kristin helps lead a worldwide effort to change the culture of youth sports and provide all children with the opportunity to play sports in a safe, fun, and supportive environment. And as an aside, when I came back here 16 years ago, everywhere I turned, people mentioned Kristin's name for the work that she had just really begun doing for a few years and continues to do and is making incredible impacts. And when she goes out into a community, I feel like I always hear what an amazing job she's done spreading this message that's so incredibly important. One of the statistics I thought was great that Kristin develops new curricula. She's leading a team that has trained more than 160,000 coaches and parents across 42 states. 42 states. Have you been to Memphis? If you haven't, you should go. There's a lot of good stuff going on. I have all these things. I know that you want to hear from her, but what I want to say is, she may not remember this, but on a personal aside, we have daughters the same age, and if any of you saw me get out of the chair and walk up here, you're reasonably sure that I was never a cheerleader, right? Matter of fact, I didn't make it in 5th grade. And so therefore, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. But one of my dear daughters tried out for cheerleader. Kristin and her husband, Dan, who's here, were both Notre Dame cheerleaders. Their son was the leprechaun. This runs right through the family, right? So the girls tried out for cheerleading in high school. And I'll never forget the absolute incredible kindness that came from Kristin when her daughter became cheerleader and mine didn't. And I'll never forget, was it the Maya Angelou quote that says, you don't remember what someone says, but you always remember how they made you feel? And my daughter talked about that for a long time. So she's a lifelong member of the Notre Dame family, inspired by her father, who's very dear to her, Richard Komyatte, a member of the class of 1959. If you stick around afterwards, Kristin will explain exactly where his bench is. You can't sit on it, because there's some rules around it, but you can certainly go by and see it. But she was a really active member of the cheerleading squad during her years here, including during the 1988 National Championship season, which I know was really important. She graduated with her degree in theology in 1990, went on to earn a master's degree in psychology in 1993. Tonight, she's joined by her husband, Dan, who are the parents of 3 children, 2 of whom attended Notre Dame, 1 who's a graduate of DePauw. Kristin brings so much to the community of Notre Dame, to the culture of Notre Dame, and so it is an absolute privilege to present her tonight with the Harvey G. Foster Award. Kristin.
Thank you so much, Dolly. You are an exceptional leader, one I have admired for many years and admire so much today. Thank you, Notre Dame Alumni Association, for this incredible honor. And Marty, you heard Dolly talk about my dad, Richard, 1959 grad, went on to law school and was a lawyer for social justice. That's where I got my zeal, that lit a fire in me, that he taught me that you can't just work for your own good, but you have to work for the good of others. And so I honor your story. I loved your story. Thank you for the example you set for all of us here. And Melchizedek, is this my clicker? Okay, thank you very much. Let's see, green? Melchizedek's my operator back there. There we go, thank you. As Dolly mentioned, I am joined this evening by my husband, Dan, University of Notre Dame, 1987. We met in the Hesburgh Library on October 29th, 1986. Dan, you've been my biggest cheerleader ever since. I love you. My time at ND was filled with joy, spirit, a 1988 national championship, and clearly very big hair, as well as the formation of lifelong friendships. My cheer teammate, Margot Ball-McQuarrie, who I think many of you know from her time on the Alumni Association board, is here. Margot, I want to celebrate friendships that are really like family. By the way, Margot and I are the short ones in the photo. Also joining this evening are Professors Clark and Ann Power. We first met the Powers when they led Dan and my pre-Cana marriage preparation. We loved going to the Power home to talk about the joys and the intricacies of married life. And being in relationship with the Powers in 1990, little did I know that in 2006, Clark would invite me to join him in the new effort that he founded, and that is the Play Like a Champion Today educational series. Clark was recently honored with a Lifetime Impact Award by the President's Council on Sports, Nutrition, and Fitness. Such a fitting honor for the legacy you've created, Clark, and you've enabled me to join you in this effort. Thank you. Also here with me tonight are my dear friends, Mike and Ellen Esposito. Mike, ND 1961, is a member of our Play Like a Champion Advisory Board, always a source of sage wisdom, ideas, and ongoing support. Thank you for being here. All right, so thank you to Notre Dame, who gave me knowledge, strengthened my faith, graced me with the opportunity to form forever relationships, and nurtured a commitment to act in this world not for my own good, but for the common good. So if you have children or grandchildren, I imagine you've witnessed some of the causes for concern in the youth sport culture. Anybody raise their hand? Over concern about winning from coaches, parent over-involvement, sometimes altercations at youth sport experiences, even brawls in front of the children at their game. Well, Play Like a Champion was created to elevate that culture of youth sport, to ensure kids receive the good that we know sports can and should provide. How do we do that? Dolly mentioned, we do workshops, we do trainings for youth and high school coaches in character development, faith formation, and trauma-informed coaching techniques. I'll be sharing some photos here this evening of our newest partners, just our newest ones this fall, that are joining the over 250 partners that we have across the country. Our research reveals that youth who interact with trained coaches can gain social emotional learning competencies to help them manage trauma, gain self and social awareness, learn responsible decision-making, self-management, and relation-building skills that will help them win, not only in sports, but in life. Play Like a Champion's coach education has 18 years of proven effective experience, providing interactive trainings that build coach competence and promote an athlete-centered sport culture. We believe that investing in high-quality coach education is not only prudent, but morally responsible. It is a foundational step in helping kids feel safe, supported, and cared for. This is the environment in which they can grow and thrive. Athletes who play with A Play Like a Champion trained coach consistently report higher levels of satisfaction and virtue development from their sport experience than those who played with a non-trained coach. So youth sports done well can help young people grow in so many ways. Physically, yes, but also socially, emotionally, morally, and even spiritually through their involvement in individual and team activities. Yet, participation in sports overall is down nearly 8% over the past decade. The commercialization of youth sport in the US has created a pay-to-play reality. Last year, the NFL generated $20.5 billion in revenue. The global youth sport market is a nearly $40 billion industry, nearly double of the NFL. And as of 2022, the average family was paying $883 annually for one child's primary sport. This cost is simply formidable for most families. So a lack of resources in schools and community centers often means that children from low-income families are sidelined and do not have the opportunity to participate. In fact, only 1 out of 3 children from a low socioeconomic neighborhood play in a team sport environment. The social implication of this injustice is that without engaging after-school options that are widely available, too many of our children have no outlet for socializing and physical activity and thus become vulnerable to gang recruitment and other perilous activities that might land them in detention or jail. I see the realities of this as I volunteer as part of Holy Cross's Moreau College initiative at Westville Correctional Center. When the men I lead in yoga hear what I do professionally, a typical response is, "Wow, that's so cool. I love sports, but my family couldn't afford for me to play." So if we become a society that can provide meaningful, engaged activities like sports for youth with caring coach mentors, we can cut incarceration rates and save lives on the front end. Many are surprised to learn that our Holy Father and the Vatican care deeply about the value of sports in our world when offered equitably. So I'd like to share a quote from Pope Francis. "Everyone who wants to join in sports should be welcomed, not just the best, but everyone, with the advantages and limitations that everyone has. Indeed, focusing on the most disadvantaged, as did Jesus." So Play Like a Champion is deeply committed to Pope Francis's call to support sport for all through our A Team for Every Child initiative. I'll be sharing images of some of our Team for Every Child partners as well here. Our goal is to develop sustainable programming that enables children from vulnerable communities to experience the joy and benefits of youth sports that your children and Dan and my children had the opportunity to experience. In 2016, we began by working in the North Lawndale community on the west side of Chicago. This community is blessed with gifted youth sport program leaders who voluntarily serve the children in their neighborhood. At the same time, North Lawndale is one of Chicago's most dangerous neighborhoods and faces high poverty and violence. Children in North Lawndale encounter numerous stressors, including the pressures of gang membership and exposure to gun violence. And these are two of our North Lawndale leaders, Deborah and Darren Brown, and the leprechaun that's with them in the photo is our son, Jack. We brought them out to a football game and a basketball game. So Play Like a Champion facilitated the development of the North Lawndale Athletic and Recreation Association, or NLARA, collaborating to expand that community's outreach to vulnerable children. Now in our 9th year, the NLARA has increased total participation by youth in that neighborhood by over 400%. Additionally, there was a 333% growth in girls' participation since the association was created, accomplished through intentional partnerships with girl-focused programming. And in 2019, Play Like a Champion formed our second A Team for Every Child site right here in South Bend through the creation of the Michiana Athletic and Recreation Association, or MARA, collaborating to provide South Bend youth with equitable sports access for all, regardless of their athletic talent or their family's income. And so I'd like to introduce two members of MARA who are with us here tonight, two good, very dear friends. Mr. Mike Poole, who runs the Positive Outlook programming. And Captain David Herron, who runs the South Bend Police Athletic League. Please give him a hand. Just like friends from Notre Dame become family, you gentlemen are family to us, and I know to Clark and Ann and Dan, and we are just so grateful. In our church, we say that we all should aspire to become saints. These two gentlemen are living saints among us. Thank you for all you do. So in September of 2022, Play Like a Champion was invited to an international sports summit at the Vatican. It was entitled Sport for All. This is a theme that we've embraced. The highlight of the summit was an audience with Pope Francis, and I'm going to share a quote that he provided to us in his audience. May sport always promote a culture of encounter. We can only experience that when we bring all children to that encounter. Pope Francis went on to say, sport is not only a form of entertainment, but also, and above all, I would say, a tool to communicate values that promote the good that is in humans and help build a more peaceful and fraternal society. From personal enjoyment to long-term whole health, we have many convincing reasons to prioritize physical activity for all of our children. Play Like a Champion is deeply committed to this value, and we invite each of you to join us so that together, within all of our communities, we can provide the joy and benefits that youth sport can provide to every child. Thank you.